Hello and good evening. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Inbaal. I'm a psychic, tarot reader, and witch, and I'm here live on the Bigfoot Outlaw channel. Now, I was actually going to try and stream this to my Instagram as well. So, what you're seeing me do is try and get this to simultaneously broadcast on Instagram as well. Now, if you don't know, right now you can watch us live on Facebook. So I'm on my Facebook, Inbaal Psychic, on the Bigfoot Outlaw Facebook, on the Grizzly Facebook. We're also on Grizzly's LinkedIn, on Grizzly's Twitch. We're on my YouTube and on the Bigfoot Outlaw YouTube. So I'm trying to add Instagram to that as well. And this is all for watching us live right now. If you're not watching us live, you will probably realize that it's not live. We are on all the good podcasting networks as well. There we go. I think I'm just about to go live on Instagram as well. Let's see if it's happening. Yeah, there we go. Instagram too. I'm pressing go live. There we go. So if you're watching us live, you can get involved by sending a message. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can send a message below, and then I'll see your messages and I'll be able to flash them on the screen. For example, we have a pre-ready message from Grizzly, who runs the channel, and he says, you can support me by sending stars. Stars help me earn money to make more content. We've also got a message from John, who's on YouTube now, saying, howdy y'all, God bless. Hey, Inbaal. Hey, John, great to hear from you. And Plush TV, also joining us from YouTube, is saying hi. So even though I was saying that we're on the on my YouTube and on the Bigfoot Outlaw YouTube, but actually each YouTube broadcast is going out twice. Once in the sort of wide landscape, and once in the portrait, what do you call it? Layout, is that right? So so if you're seeing your YouTube message on your YouTube, but then you're not seeing some of the others, they might be watching it on a different format. So Kathy is joining us. Kathy says, good evening, everyone in Venice, Italy, on vacation. Oh, I'm not generally a jealous person, but I'm very envious of you now. How is the weather there? So in Italy, it must be like 11 p.m. now. Is that right? It's about 11 p.m. So I'm going to be with you until nearly bedtime. John is saying howdy to Grizz, but Grizz is not here with me. I'm doing all the producing myself. Cybo Badrio is saying, hey to you. Plush TV is saying 6-7. Pretty you. Thank you very much. And saying you're awesome ASMR. Thank you. That's very, very kind. I have been told that my voice can knock a person into sleep. Kathy says, yes, 11 p.m. Venice, beautiful today. I've never been. What's it like? And most importantly, does it have like a spiritual vibe, you know, when you walk through it? Because there's presumably a lot of ancient artifacts, ancient buildings. Do you feel the connection? And do you have any family connection to Italy? That is fascinating. I don't have a family connection to Greece, but every time I'm in Greece, I feel sort of very connected to the land there and the kind of spirituality that goes there. So, what I was hoping to talk about today is actually about financial readings, like money readings. Um, I was asked to do a feature for the press for 2026 and kind of look at predictions from a financial perspective. And that got me thinking about like how finances kind of show up differently in different people's readings. So that's one thing that got me sort of thinking about money readings. And then today I was doing a lovely reading for a person who shall remain nameless, obviously. And she was looking at a family financial situation. And the person she was asking about was somebody who loves having money, loves having it in his bank account, loves earning it, loves owning it, not really bothered whether he enjoys it or not. Whereas she is somebody who loves making money so that she can enjoy it. And it's two really sort of different types of personalities, isn't it? So that got me thinking about like money readings as well, because I really think there's a big difference between people who enjoy having money and between people who just like to have the money. So yeah, I thought that would be an interesting topic if we could go around like the pentacles cards or the discs cards, or even kind of look um, at the different planets and star signs that influence finance. Obviously, you're very welcome to jump in with questions. Don't be shy. But yeah, let's see who else is here. There we go. My favorite girl, Sabrina, is here saying, Hola, Inbaal. Hola. I am doing your thing immediately as soon as I finish. Have I got an email from you, or is it on? Let me check. Is it on the Insta? Because I could see the PayPal coming through. Just making sure that I'm on top of things. Got loads of screens all going in different directions. There we go. I've got the questions. But yeah, as soon as I finish this, it's you. Sabrina says, "Oh, my favorite. Thank you. Yeah, I quite like it too. Do you know, when I do like general readings, as a lot of you know, I went through a long stage where when I say long stage, I mean like, a decade, where I used to always do the financial questions first and the love questions after. And what I used to always say is that it's because with money questions, it's straightforward. 1 + 1 is 2. Whereas love questions, we can dwell and dawdle and, look at things from all sorts of directions. Marcus says, good evening, you lovely lady. Sorry I missed the start, but the alert didn't turn up. That's because I didn't even press the publish button until we literally were going live. I couldn't get, I think, Twitch. So I was sort of setting it up to start streaming in the future, but I was setting it up at 9:59, and at 9:59 the Twitch server wouldn't accept 10 p.m. as the future because it was under a minute before we were due to go live. So you missed the alert because it didn't come, because it didn't exist. It says, I hope that all is good there. Hello, everyone else this evening, afternoon, morning. Yeah, we've got people from all over the world. I don't know if you saw, but Kathy's on holiday in Venice, tuning in. So yeah, we're live in Venice right now. Sabrina is congratulating everyone. and congratulating Mark in Spanish. We are all over the world and in all the languages. Amazing. Roger says, howdy and balance, everyone. Hi, Roger. Sabrina says, I enjoy and like money. That's very good. That's very good when you can see sort of both sides. It's an Insta. Roger, howdy. Right, amazing. So, first of all, and this is, I think, sort of important for all of us, let's look a little bit at the planets. So, the planet that affects finances more than anything is the planet Jupiter. The planet Jupiter is not a planet of like hard work and ambition. On the contrary, the planet Jupiter is the planet of falling, bum first into money. It's a planet of luck. It's a planet of, coming back off holiday, exchanging a currency and ending up with more than what you originally sort of changed it for. It's the planet of walking up to the server counter in the coffee shop and the lady says to you, the person before you paid for 15 drinks and said for the 15 people after him to get it for free, which happened to me one time. And I was literally just having a tea and I felt like it was such a waste. If only I wanted like a, big chino thing, that would have been sort of a massive saving, but I still, I guess, saved my £1.40 on that tea. So that's Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, expansiveness, wealth, and luck. Now, that planet is currently in Cancer. It has been in Cancer for 6 months now. Great. But right now it is going retrograde. It started retrograding on November 11th, November 12th, something like that. It's going to keep retrograding until, is it January? Is it March? It's going to keep retrograding for a little while. And then what it does when it's retrograding is that it's basically sort of bringing the past to the present. So it could be like your debts from the past are coming into the present. It could be job offers from the past that are kind of showing up again. It could be old work colleagues that are turning up out of nowhere. Or it could be some luck that you've worked hard for in the past that is kind of showing up again, that's turning up again. So that is in Cancer. It's right now retrograde in, I think, June. Ooh, final day of June, first day of July, 2026. It's moving into Leo. So if any Leos are watching, ask Cancer how the year is going for you. So this planet stays for about a year in each star sign, and for that year, it helps, it promotes, it blesses this star sign. So this is for Leos, but also for people who've got like Leo moon, Leo rising. You have got a good year coming. And funnily enough, so I was telling you that the girl who booked me to write this horoscope for 2026, she wanted for it to be with like a money angle. And I said to her, we can do it like this, we can do it like that. I'm a big one on ideas, which is why the press love working with me, because I always have like original ideas, because my chaotic mind that is useless in many ways is, very useful in that specific arena. And she ended up not going with any of my ideas, which also happens, and says, actually, let's do like a general straight down the line horoscope, and then I'll pick out like the money messages. I was like, that's no problem. And then I said to her, let's focus on the signs that will be lucky this year. And I went in brackets, I put like, hello, Leo. And she was like, I'm a Leo. And I was like, aha, you will want to read this. So we're going to look at a couple more little itty bits where finance shows up in astrology. Marcus is welcoming Roger. Marcus said, oh, we've got a question. Amazing. Thank you for getting the ball rolling. So Marcus says, okay, so how do you see my finances next year? Obviously not a full-on reading, but a titty-witty one as we are on about finances. Absolutely. Let's have a look how your finances are going next year. Right. This is important. This is good for you to remember, because a lot of your finances is tied up in like forms and rules and making sure that everything is filled correctly and everything is like according to very specific rules that are always changing and are always subject to like reviews and so on. So for the first 2 months, maybe even 2.5 of the year, so it'll include your birthday as well, the start of the year, there is an important chunk of your earnings missing. So if part of your income is subject to regular like revisions, like checks, make sure, I beg of you, make absolutely 100% sure that you've got all the forms that you need, that you've got everything like signed and sealed so that it can be delivered, because you cannot afford to not pass the assessment, or, to have to send the assessment, to have somebody have a look at it again. So the start is difficult. Then March through to June is very good. There's actually like extra little bits of income. So there's something you're producing that is selling, little dribs and drabs. And then the second half of the year is really interesting, because it looks like there's just one product that is selling, but that product that is selling every week. Even if it's just one per week, it's selling every week. And so it brings like a constant extra income. So that's you next year. Thank you for getting the ball rolling. And Sabrina says, wait. So our good luck is being cut short. Sorry, I got distracted for a minute. It's not being cut short, but while your Jupiter in Cancer is retrograde, then there's going to be like delays, confusions, mix-ups, and so on. When we come out of the retrograde, everything is sort of back to normal. And then whatever good luck has been like held back catches up with you. So you're not missing anything, but there will be some stuff that's subject to delays. And Sabrina says, my moon is in Leo, so you will not need to give up the good luck when Jupiter goes into Leo. And Kathy, all the way from Venice, is saying, I'm Leo as well. I have good news for you. So from the first day of July 2026, money is on your side. Marcus says, sounds like tax returns, etc. Thanks for the advice. Always good to know, and I will keep an eye on it for that very reason. It makes sense. I will explain via text later. That's it. It's not that your income is impacted. It's that your cash flow is impacted. So anything that was kind of paused, for what do you call it, to kind of gosh, all my words are gone today. I should drink more coffee. Anything that's paused for reassessment, see, the word assessment was there in the coffee. Anything that's paused for reassessment will then get backdated. So it all ends up in your pocket anyway, but in that period where you're waiting for the reassessment, you're waiting for it to end up in your pocket, it is very frustrating, because you need for things to sort of work, but you need for money to sort of flow in, at the usual rate. So yeah, so this is what we've got. Now, I wanted to look at other different kind of planets and star signs that will help you kind of see what is going on with finances. So one of the best, nicest, most financially minded star signs is, of course, Capricorn. If any of you is Capricorn watching, and I'm guessing none of you Capricorns are watching because Capricorns never take a break, so you're probably working. But if by any chance any of you watching is a Capricorn, sort of taking a second off of work just to sort of get some recreation and be inspired by YouTube, then really any planet that goes into Capricorn will be inspired by the ambitious, business-minded focus of the Capricorn. So at the moment right now, we don't have anything in Capricorn. However, get this, on Christmas Day, Venus is going into Capricorn. And Venus is actually the planet of love, but it's also the planet of the home, of being indoors, of doing your homey stuff. And therefore, that Venus going into Capricorn on Christmas Day could be, if you put together the Capricorn vibes and the home, could mean that you get ideas about how to generate an income from home. Let me know if you can relate to it. If you're the kind of person that sort of sits Christmas Day, rubbing your tummy, getting over the sugar rush, and then you think, yeah, I've got to work from home more so that I'm closer to the fridge. I've got to work from home more. I never want to leave the house because here in England, the weather is disgusting on Christmas Day, like absolute customarily. We almost never get snow, but we always have like the kind of blowy storms that get like wet leaves on our windows. So you could be sitting there, you're looking out the window, wet leaves flying into it, and you're like, I want to work from home forever. I never want to go to a workplace. So that will very much be the inspiration of Venus in Capricorn going in Christmas Day. So yeah, I'm not gonna mix you up too much with the planets. We're gonna go into sort of looking at a bit of finances with the tarot as well. But let's have a little look what we've got here. So Sabrina is reassured, saying, okay, it'll still reach me. It will. What is yours will never miss you. That is like the best affirmation. What is mine will never miss me. Marcus says, amazing what words appear in coffee, isn't it? I've found many, many thousands of words appear there, right? I've never written a book, unlike, some of us. So I've not found thousands of words there, but like the odd word is there in a coffee cup. Sabrina says, oh, I have one question about money. My hearing to receive my award, will I hear from them in December or in 2026? Let's have a look. Gosh, that was a long wait to hear from them in December or in 2026. Right, you hear from them in 2026, but your name is there, your details are there. So it already exists in December. And I'm a little bit surprised that they don't have a more automated, like, yes, no system, because yours is just such an obvious yes, but they need for it to sort of go through human eyes. So, so that's why the wait. So it is 2026, but it's already like as good as done. Good luck. Marcus says, not that I'm Inbaal, but I get the feeling around your daughter's birthday, sign of Aquarius, when you asked, I saw. So this for Sabrina. Obviously, Inbal will check, but I'm going by what I feel. Amazing. I'm by myself and oh, right. I'm by myself at Christmas. Gives me time to recharge, ready for 2026, continue with my projects. So Marcus says, shh, the books were supposed to be a secret until a few months ago. I didn't say you. I said, unlike you. Yeah, there is no right. And Pete sends us a thumbs up. Right, amazing. So I normally like to work with the Thoth deck, which also has fabulous money cards that I adore so much. Can't see any of them now, but I think if we're going to look at some money tarot, we're going to use money cards. I think if we're going to look at some money tarot, we're going to look at the Rider-Waite-Smith deck because they're just a lot more straightforward. Sabrina says, thank you. It's part of the delay. And John is welcoming Pete. I love it that you boys are catching up. So let's look at the financial cards in the Rider-Waite-Smith. So the money cards are represented in the Pentacles. Most of the Pentacles cards have pentacles that are, like this size. What, like 1 centimeter across, more or less? Good ones, bad ones, they tend to have that little pentacle, all except for the ace. The ace of pentacles have got a super coin. It's got a lovely big pentacle, and that shows us new beginnings, investments, job offers, a windfall, financial success, a new dawn is rising with finance. So those pentacles cards can represent money, wealth, generational wealth, charity. It can be a salary. It can be a win. Let's look through a few of the more interesting ones. I'm going to jump straight through to the 9 because I find it so interesting. Let's just have a little look. So Pete is saying, hey. Marcus says, I know me well enough to know everything about me, literally. I knew about them in their infancy, or you knew they were in the planning stages. 2026 is my year. And Sabrina says, thank you, Mark. Her birthday is in February. It will be sorted. I hate delays on almost everything. I'm an Aquarian. It would be nice if it arrived just before your daughter's birthday. Present got her. You are big on presents and on enjoying what you have and enjoying what you bring in and celebrating it as a family. So let's have a little looky at my very, very beloved 9 of Pentacles. Anyone that studied the tarot with me knows how obsessed I am with this very, very fascinating cards. Oh, you've got favorites. So Sabrina says the ace. Let me pull out the ace. God, I had it in my hand a second ago. The ace, the 10 of Pentacles, I'll pull in a second, and the Queen are my favorite. Let me pull out the 10. So we've got all of your favorites here inspiring you. I love the 10 as well, but then I'm a little bit like unhealthily obsessed with all the 10s. I love having like all the 10s side by side and figuring out how we got here. Oh, I must have been doing this with somebody. But yeah, the 10s are sitting there side by side, presumably from a former lesson. So here's 10. But look at that. We've got the 10. So happy with the cups. We've got the 10. So successful with the pentacles. We've got the 10. So hardworking with the wands. And we've got the 10. So dead with the swords. It is hilarious. Well, I say hilarious. Awful is the word I was looking for. So here are your favorites. Here's the 10. Here's the ace. Here's the queen. I wish I could find a way to sort of put them to one side. Is it possible? Can I do it? I must be honest, I'm very proud of myself that I managed this technological advancement. Can you see it? There we go. These are for you, Sabrina. Amazing. And yeah, I'm going to look at the 9 in a second. Let's just see your messages. So Mark is revealing his birthday to Sabrina. Yeah, no, it's absolutely fine. And she says hers is 11. Very, very cute. Oh, Mark loves Lovers, Star, and Tower. Right now, because I pull them out for Sabrina, I've got to pull them out for you, but I don't have like a similar device to sit them on. But let's pull the Lovers. We're pulling out tarot cards. If anyone is new here, that's it. So I've got the Lovers. What would you say? Star and Tower. Star. Oh, they're all coming up. And the Tower. Let's see if the Tower is hiding or if it's interested in making an appearance. Star, the Tower. I've got the Moon here. I've got Judgment. I've got Justice. There we go. There's the Tower. Here are all of your little friends. So stunning. Absolutely gorgeous cards. Beautiful picks. So I said I'm going to have a little look. Sorry, that little holder in the corner was just too hilarious for me. The 9. So in the 9 of Pentacles, in the Rider-Waite-Smith, but also in some other decks that were inspired by it, we have a lady out in the garden, and she is posing around some grapevines, grape bushes, grape trees. Are they bushes? I don't know. My great granddad used to grow grapes, and he would grow his like quite high because they would be like on vines. They would grow on the vines. So she's dressed in all finery, and even the grapes are such a fancy crop, aren't they? She's got a beautiful hat. She's got her curls nicely styled. This is a lady with money, and we know that because she's got all the pentacles there. By her feet, we have a teeny tiny snail making its way across. And on her gloved arm, we have a falcon. And the falcon is masked. And what this tells us is that the falcon is tamed, it's trained, it's a wild bird, but it is her possession, it's her property. And this suggests to us that maybe the lady herself is also possession. She might be chattel herself. She might be somebody's property. And this very, very interesting card sends us more questions and answers, really. It says, does she want to be there? Is she a trophy wife? Has she made that money herself? Does she belong to a romantic partner? Does she belong to her boss? Is she in a job that she can't leave? Maybe she's like crew on a boat where you can't just sort of walk out. Maybe she's sort of part of a production where you're contracted for the entire length of the production. It doesn't matter how happy or sad you are, you have to stay. Is she part of the family business? Although that's a little bit more the 10, isn't it? This is much more part of the family business. And this card is so fascinating because it's hard to tell whether she's in charge or a subject, whether she generated all that wealth or walked into all that wealth. I adore this card because I work all the time. I work all the time. I'll have you know it's 10:30 in the night now. And I was working, I was sort of typing some predictions until like moments before going on air, which is why I was so late to set up. So sometimes in my fantasies, I think to myself, wouldn't it be amazing if I could ever be like a trophy wife? If I could just sort of step into a financial situation where I didn't have to generate it, where somebody would just let me use theirs. Now, obviously, it's not a choice that I make. And also, you know, at 5'1" and however much I weigh, I don't think it's a choice that's really open to me, even if I was sort of single, which I haven't been in 20 years. But I admire this girl because she had the option and she grabbed the option. I really hope for her sake that the moment she wants to leave, that she'll be able to leave. But I love when women make their choices. And if this was her choice, that is so cool. It's so amazing to see. But yeah, this is I'm obsessed with this card. I find it really, really fascinating. And those are the reasons. Now, we're going to look at the 10 of Pentacles in a minute. I'm just going to catch up with the messages. But when we look at the 10 of Pentacles, Sabrina, because this is one of your favorites, maybe you share with a class what you love so much about it. Sabrina says, I'm manifesting it. Amazing. You're getting there. You're getting to that win. Sabrina says, I don't know why, but when I see the 9, I think of a kept woman. Absolutely. No, she is. That's what's so fascinating. Was it her choice? Was it not her choice? Is she enjoying it? Is she hating it? Would she try and get you into her cult, if that was possible? There's also, I feel like there's something very mafia about this. So when I watched The Sopranos, which was like about 10 years after everybody else watched The Sopranos, maybe 20 years. Was Sopranos, was it 90s? Was it early 2000s? But I watched The Sopranos long after it was finished. And it was kind of fascinating how if like a wife passed away or if a husband was like, offed, that somebody else from the community would then be like their next partner. So there's an element of not coercion. Let me check in the bottom of the cup whether the word is there. Compulsion, where you can only kind of date within the group. And I think that's kind of connected as well. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want to bang on too much. If you want to hear me bang on for 10 solid minutes about each and every card uninterrupted, by all means, you're welcome to invest in my tarot course. Many Many such rants, 78 to be exact, are to be found exactly in my tarot course. Wow. So 9 of coins looks like olives to me when I've looked at them, but I suppose it's whatever we want to see. So that's not how olives grow. Olives grow more independently. It's grapes that grow in bunches. Interestingly, I think grapes and olives are more or less from the same kind of climate, the same kind of part of the world. But yeah, olives grow all separate and kind of not like this at all. And also they're not in bushes. Olives are all on kind of separate trees, certainly not on vines. But if you see the olive in the card, they yeah, and the leaves are exactly like opposite. So the vine leaves are like palms, they're huge, and olive leaves are like teeny tiny. But if you see it and you're thinking olives, then think, what do olives mean to you? What do they represent? What could they be representing within, within the context of the reading that you're giving? I don't have to tell you, obviously, because you're a reader yourself. Marcus said, or as you put it, Sabrina, kept woman. Inbal agrees. Yeah, no, I agree massively. I like to call it the trophy wife just because it's a phrase I adore. But yeah, a kept woman is certainly like an apt description. Sandy says, hello, Inbal, blessings all. Mark is saying like 5'1", never. I know I've got close to the ground, but how did I hug you when I was 6 foot? Yeah, I was probably like wearing platforms. Spawn says, good evening, Inbal chat. Blessings to you all. There we go. Everybody's got greetings from Spawn. Marcus greeting back. Hello, Marcus. How are you? That cup of coffee strikes again. It better keep the striking. Sabrina says, oh, there we go. As I requested. Thank you so much. When I see the 10 of Pentacles, I see, oh, no, wait. I see happiness, stress-free. The entire family is enjoying the riches, unity. I just love that card. Do you know, I adore how romantic this card is for you, because it's, for me, that's not how I view it at all. There's obviously like the element of completion because it's the 10 and it's like the most wealthy you can be, like the most financially blessed that you can be. But for me, it's always sort of really odd how they're not like standing together, unlike my beloved 10 of Cups. I am a Pisces after all. My beloved 10 of Cups, look at that. They are hugging, they are playing, they're holding each other. Here, I can't help but sort of feel a little weird about, we have the elderly man and he's with the dogs, and we've got the man and the woman here. We've got the child there. And it's, to me, it looks really anxious. So this is, I think that my approach to finances and your approach to finances are kind of different and very instructed by our formative years, which were very, very, very different. But this is really a card of generational wealth. And I think to you, if you had generational wealth, that's what it would feel like. And for me, if I had generational wealth, that's what it would feel like. So I think it's really weird because I was raised with a very ambiguous, very sort of bizarre approach to finances, because of the type of upbringing that I had. Whereas for you, generational wealth would have been exactly the words that you've put: happiness, stress-free, the entire family enjoying the riches, unity. And that really is sort of one of the most beautiful things about the tarot, that each reader will look at each card completely differently. And so that's why, if somebody gives me a reading, I don't look at the cards. I don't want to know what the cards are. I just want to know what the reader's message is for me, because I'll look at one card and it'll mean one thing to me, and you'll look at the same card and it'll mean something slightly different to you, and Mark will look at that card and it'll mean something quite different. So thank you so much for sharing. That is absolutely beautiful. And I love being able to see it through your eyes, because you describe what that means to you. It's absolutely fascinating. So for anybody sort of stepping in from the cold, the 10 of Pentacles is the pentacles are in the shape of the tree of life, of the complete tree of life. So this represents a situation where everything is taken care of. Your clothes, your bills are paid, your medical is completely covered, your dental care is completely covered, all the payments on your vehicle are finished, the holiday is already sort of paid in full. So this is sort of very much the card of like the most, it's not necessarily the most wealthy you could be, but it's the most wealthy that you kind of hope to be. Any more than that, you might not know what to do with it. And it is a card of generation. So we've got the elderly man here. We have a younger couple here. We have a child. We have 2 to 3 dogs. It's never really clear whether this third thing that has the outline of a dog and even little tail, but is the same material as the man's coat, is indeed a dog or not. But yeah, that's so fascinating. I love it so much. I hope everyone watching enjoyed all this as much as I have. I think it's entirely possible that I enjoy the show more than literally everybody, sort of anybody else. Let me just catch up with a few more messages, and I can see the messages from Instagram are showing up separately. So Margarita style, if you're still watching, drop just a quick message and I'll do your question, because annoyingly the messages from Instagram don't show up on the same screen that I can see. It's a separate screen. Sabrina says, "Oh, Sopranos, early 2000s. It does give a mafia feeling, doesn't it? Yeah, it is fabulous. Thank you." Marcus says, "I've done the tarot course. It's a great course. I can and highly recommend it. That is my unbiased opinion, even though I've known you an age." Thank you so much. I appreciate. Sabrina says the tree of life. I know, it's such a gorgeous shape. Marcus says, "Good to know, Spawn. That is always good. We can't get the years back. We should always make the most of the time while they are with you. Before you know it, they leave home." Oh, lovely. Aisha says, "Hi, I posted my question in the Instagram live. Let me jump on the other screen so I can see you." Right. So Aisha says, "What does Ahmad Hazim feel since we haven't spoken 3-4 days? No argument. We're friends. When do you see him connecting back to me? Let's see." So what does he feel? Oh, he always has such lovely cards about you. He feels you in his heart. He is falling for you. His heart is warm and overflowing with emotion for you. So Absence makes the heart grow fonder. He's not forgotten about you. Marcus says, young, not you, it's the autocorrect. So the 10 of coins, Mark says, I see as celebratory things where people allow freedom to go above all else. Although the grey warns me about people who drink too much while celebrating. I thought I would say that's interesting. I love seeing that. Spawn says, just a heads up for the 19th, Comet Atlas will pass its close to the sun, so activity may drastically increase, which may cause unrest in our sleeping patterns and our energies. Thank you so much. I actually have, I think, a really special thing happening on the 19th. So for those of you in the US, it might sound sort of really bonkers. Those of you in the UK maybe a little less bonkers, but something like 800 years ago, all the Jews were expelled from York, from the city of York, and they all gathered in Clifford's Tower, where they all died, massacred. Anyway, now 800 years later, we've got Hanukkah, the festival of Hanukkah coming up, and on the 19th, we're gathering in Clifford's Tower, obviously with the blessings of the council, and we're lighting Hanukkah candles right there where all those people have passed. So to be honest, I feel like it really fits. We've got that Comet Atlas closer to the sun, and we're coming to, to celebrate and to bring the light. Hanukkah is a festival of lights. You're lighting candles. You're bringing the light back in the darkness. It'll be so close to the winter solstice. So Spawn, your messages just sort of made it so much more special. Sabrina says, love the fur babies. Fur babies are adorable. Marcus says, last 10 minutes, guys. Yeah, that was true. It was like 5 minutes ago as well. Spawn says, thank you, Inbaal Marcus chat. Have a great week filled with blessings. Thank you so much. Marcus says, thanks for the warning. And in the Instagram live, I could see the message from Margarita Stahl. She put in a question, but I asked for her to, to let me know if she's still there, and nothing happens. Spawn says, I will be there on Tuesday. Always look forward to the lives. Marcus says, have you seen how many events Astro Speaking is happening on my birthday next year? I think it's 5. Made me worry because I've never had that many before. I did notice, actually. So let me just sort of pull up the, just on my screen, you won't see it. But very, very weirdly, the ephemeris that I get every year that is usually published like the March before, or the June before, but the first half of the previous year has not been published for next year. And I follow an account, not sort of my account, but I follow an account that says that it's going to be published in a couple of weeks. So I hope it will. But until then, I've just been using like the online version, and it's not good for my eyes. But I've seen other ephemeri, and I don't like them. So I'm pulling up the online version, and so for Marcus, on your birthday, it's going to be dark moon, like a new moon in Aquarius, obviously. There's also going to be a solar eclipse that day. The moon will be going into Pisces, and Mars is going to do something with the sun. Where is Mars? Wait. It's mostly the eclipse. I'll be honest. The eclipse kind of eclipses everything else. So we're going moon into Pisces, then Mars and the sun. Right. So on the 17th, Mars is in Pisces. Did I say Mars in Pisces? Yeah, on the 17th. Oh, I think all it shows is that the sun and the moon are doing their thing. It's a couple of days before Pisces season. Don't worry too much about it. It's the eclipse that you want to focus on. So I'm sure you'll get through it just fine. But yeah. So let's just flash the last few messages, and then I will wish you a happy new week. And very, very hopefully, Mark says, also the Chinese New Year. I don't think it must not be the first time the Chinese New Year has fallen on your birthday, right? I'm pretty confident it was your birthday just like 3-4 years ago as well. But yeah, thank you everybody for joining. I'm going to be right here on Thursday lunchtime, 11:30 in the morning UK time, 6:30 a.m. if you're in New York, with Laura going through our psychic brunch. And until then, I wish you a wonderful evening. Bye.